cut my previous video earlier because I was lost for 30 minutes over here. And I hate wasting time, something that some people clearly will not understand what it means to me to lose time or to waste time. And basically what have happened, the moment I have reached over here, I was driving for 30 minutes back and forth without being able to like find where I need to go or know where I need to go. And I had to use the guide. The guide tell me that I need to be in this room and we need to swim down. I just hate losing time. Like, to me, 30 minutes, 30 minutes on YouTube or 30 minutes on the stream, to me, that is a lot. And I'm allergic to wasting time. Neither mine or everybody else's. So if somebody cannot fucking understand that, then it's not my problem. But yeah, I basically decided to cut that 30 minutes when I was lost. Also, because of this. How can you notice anything in this incredibly awful motion blur? Because this motion blur is absolutely bad. And of course, welcome to the glitch, the audio glitch with the music. I was looking for 30 minutes for this stupid hole in the ground. I sincerely, I genuinely don't believe myself that I just couldn't find that. But it seems like this game shares like several problems already with the Story River 2. It's not even the gameplay, because gameplays definitely have improved. But the sound glitches, like the sound glitches I found right now, because right now the music that's currently playing, this music should not play in the material realm, it should only play in the spectral realm. Also, yes, Oedon, I am that salty because to me, walking back and forth for 30 minutes straight, that is a waste of time. And I cannot stand wasting time. To me, if I'm wasting time or somebody else wastes my time, that is... I cannot stand it. Well, at least I guess we can progress forward, at least somewhat. Also, hey Dodger, yeah, I'm playing Defiance, but it was basically the last elements was basically a culmination of annoyance. Am I feeling better? Yeah, now I do, but I'm still not gonna deny the fact that it was super annoying for the video game to simply, you know, like how in the fuck I would figure out that there's a hole in the ground with such motion blur? Like, you really need to stick. You actually really need to stick. You actually really need to stick to the wall to see if there's anything in front of it. I think I need to go that way. What platform is this? In the stream title. I'm playing, you can read the stream title, it tells you everything pretty much. That's a game from 2003. This game, I think this game was also released either on PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. I think with how this game looks, I think it was definitely PlayStation 3. And you know what, guys? Never mind that. We are making
This
progress,
edifice,
and I'm happy
marked
about
with the
that.
elemental light symbol, was clearly much older than the ruins in the rest of the cemetery. The door was far too high to reach, and to open it, it seemed the Reaver would need to be imbued with the power of darkness. Clearly, I had more to accomplish before I could discover what lay within.
Oh, great. That's definitely what I need. The other thing that I have noticed is that I can move to the from Material Realm to Spectral Realm back and forth without any cost. Like I don't need to have my health filled to actually do that, which I don't know how to feel about that. It's definitely some form of improvement, but I don't know, man. No, just get the energy. There we go. And that glitch when she doesn't take any damage. Holy crap. Perforate Carcass. Isn't that the attack that I have explored earlier? Okay, I'm gonna take his soul. It's gonna be actually a fair trade. Okay. Well, now we have to only fight with the buggy music, but I guess I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna save the game again. Yeah, create a new save. Unless there's something with the telekinesis that I can like use over there. Maybe I should figure it out. Because there's this platform over here that I'm gonna have to climb up on. And there's also something over here, but I cannot do anything. It's like pipes. Obviously I cannot move this. Though it should be movable, I think. Probably from the other side. I'm probably gonna have to like push it down and then use it. Okay. Okay. Well, there goes the negative side. One of the actual negatives of this game. Awful motion blur when you swim. Like, ugh. Honestly, I would like for Raziel to have his ability to swim removed at this point, because it is really bad. I mean, it's not the ability to swim that is bad, but is bad. What is bad that it's not motion blur. I think that's the only thing that I can really complain about. On the Steam and buy it. Go and take a look at GOG. It is the yeah, when it comes to platform, yeah, the Steam. But take a look at the GOG, because GOG very often has like huge discounts on this game. So instead of paying $5, you can pay like $3 for 3 games. Take a look at Good Old Games, because Good Old Games give you basically a better deal and no DRM required. I have bought this game like a very long time ago when I got this game. And I didn't know that GOG even has a Legacy of Kain. Oh, there it is. There is the platform I need to cross from. And that's a mana. Okay. It's now that cheap on Steam? Then I guess get it on Steam then. That's what I would suggest to you. Just get it on Steam. But on GOG you could get 3 games on a discount. Soul Reaver 2 and Legacy of Kain Defiance 2. But you are gonna need to you might need to have a specific program to run this game on the PC. Because first of all, this game will not want to run without a DXVK. Because for some reason modern PCs are already having like significant problems with running this game. Like, at first I thought this game is gonna run perfectly fine, but yesterday I have discovered that it already has the trouble of loading through the intros. So you might need to look at the DXVK from GitHub, install the 32-bit version of it, and just install it. Because this game is pretty much a Windows XP, early Windows 7 days. And boy do I miss Windows 7. In my opinion, Windows 7 was probably one of the most reliable operating systems ever. If my PC could run on Windows 7, I would run it in a heartbeat. Like, I'm not even joking. I would run Windows 7 on this PC in a heartbeat. I mean, it's not like Windows 10 is running badly. Because it doesn't. So far I have no real complaints about it, but because the stuff that annoys most of the people are basically disabled for me. Okay, at least we are making some progress, so I'm happy with that, but goddamn. Goddamn, that motion blur in that pool was absolutely annoying. But yeah, sorry Dodger. I simply was annoyed, that's all. But yeah, you can get this on Steam. I guess on Steam right now this costs, like the Audion said, it's $1 deal. So you're still gonna gain a lot from it. But the thing is, the Legacy of Kain series is a series. So if you want to really fully understand the story that's happening in the game, unless you're just going for the gameplay, right? If you want to understand the story of this game, you need to start playing this game from the very first one. The very first game in the series was Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, that was released in 1996 or 1997, something like that. Surrounded, not gonna lie. Okay, let me look into this area because it might have something of interest. Like a health rune or something similar to that, because I'm definitely gonna try to pick it up. Or mana rune or something similar to that. Yeah, there's some kind of a ladder over here. But yeah, so far from all the series, I would say that Defiance so far has the best like controls and the best gameplay when it comes to like performing attacks, dodging the attacks. The AI so far is also not bad. but we'll see how it's gonna look in the future game. It also seems like this game is a little bit short because I'm already at chapter 4.
As some arcane sorcery transported me away. This was an ancient ruin of a vampire civilization.
And quite frankly,
perhaps here I would finally decipher the riddle of my destiny.
And quite frankly, I don't really know how long this game is because I don't remember this game at all.
I found murals depicting the seminal events of vampire history. These scenes commemorated a great war between the ancient vampires and their rivals. In triumph, they banished their adversaries from the world and raised the pillars as the lock that binds them. The image of the Reaver was inscribed throughout this place, always depicted with reverence. The vampire's holy weapon was destined to be borne by their prophesied hero, for whom it was forged. But if this was my destiny, why had the Reaver tried to consume me?
Yeah, I actually wanted to take like a screenshot or find a screenshot of those murals over there in like high fidelity, but there was none. I really wish that somebody could like redo the graphics of this game in like 4K or at least like, you know, high resolution graphics, because I think this game actually deserves it. I need to replenish my souls, man.
This scene depicted the appointment of the original vampire guardians, each summoned to serve when the pillars were raised. Each guardian is aligned to the principle of the pillar he serves, and the balance guardian is the axis of them all.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, those little fountains, you can find them both as a rise you can. You guys probably already realized that, but those are basically points where you can restore your health. Okay, I need to use Spectral Realm for that. Because only Kain can go through crates like this. Honestly, the moment I'm gonna go for Kain's scenario, I'm gonna try to switch to a digital controls, not with the analog stick. Though with analog stick I can kinda do this, and it's kinda fun to look at. I don't know, I'm primitive like that. Yeah, and also, I think that Slua being able to feed on the souls of the other, like, defeated Sluas, don't really know how to feel about that. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's either wants me to... this kind of like battles like that wants me to either kill and consume enemies faster, or in some cases it's actually a way to prolong the combat. Don't really know how to feel about that. Okay, but I need to find a way to get back to the material realm. Because that's... oh boy. Yeah. There we go. Oh, these guys came back. Okay. Let me get the souls. Hold up. Let me raise you. No, wait. I want to try something with you. Ah, whatever. What I wanted to try, because I have unlocked the attack, maybe I need to kill more enemies with the Reaver. Oh boy. Oh, also, charging the Reaver doesn't consume my soul anymore when I'm playing as Raziel. So the Reaver is not parasitic anymore. It's returned back to its form of the Wraith Blade from Soul Reaver 1. Which, quite honestly, it creates very huge inconsistency, because in Soul Reaver 1, the blade that I have is a Wraith Blade, it's just a weapon. In Soul Reaver 2, the Reaver changes into a parasite, not allowing me to consume the souls of my enemies, and also, on the full charge, the Reaver was constantly draining more and more of my health. In here, they just fucking throw it out of the window, and they said, yeah, it's a Wraith Blade again. Yeah. Okay, I suppose. Okay,
At last it was done.
Darkness.
The Reaver was forged with darkness. As I felt this new power coursing within the Wraith Blade, I knew that now the Light Temple would open to me.
Wait, isn't the ability of the Dark Reaver is to basically be invisible? Like when you fully charge the Reaver, you are basically becoming invisible? Because I'm getting flashes of the memory of this game. Yeah, once again, I'm sorry for that response, Dodger. I did not mean it. I don't know. I think I was super annoyed with the game. Yeah, I'm invisible pretty much, which, not gonna lie, that gives me quite a bit of an advantage on the battlefield. Like, holy crap. They just ignore me. That is broken, dude. That is absolutely okay. Oh, I get it. I think I need to find like lanterns to activate this portal, because you guys see those two things? Those are like keys. Not really keys. Those are like, I don't know. I have to basically find two lanterns that I need to activate my Dark Reaver, and only then I will be able to escape. That's pretty much what the game tells me, because otherwise I am unable to do that. And those two lanterns are gonna be in this area. That's how I remember it ish, and that's how I understand it should be. Anyway. Yeah, I need to get back to the Spectral Realm. Well, I didn't even have to cross the freaking wall. I mean, okay, dude. Okay, so the things I'm looking for, also switching the Reaver. Okay. I cannot switch the Reaver on my controller for some reason, though. Because according to the game, buttons 11 and 12 are somewhere in Oblivion. I don't know where they are. Yeah, those were the two things that I should activate in the first place. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. You'll live, you learn. Knowing life, every single Reaver is gonna look at least similar to what we got over here. Maybe with some minor changes. But at least we know how it's gonna work. Because if there's one thing that Legacy of Kain games have taught me, is that if you find something, there's one system to it. And most likely it's gonna repeat. Okay, so now that I have a Dark Reaver, I should be able to progress whenever I feel like it. I mean, the couple of the areas that I need. And those scrolls, those actually reminding me of the eyes. You guys remember the eyes from Soul Reaver 2? The ones that if you approach them too... Yep, if you approach them too closely, you cannot do anything. They only, in this case... These eyes are basically observing you all the time. They're just crow eyes that can see you and see whatever you want to do. I will say this much. This game definitely has... Oh, I actually need to swap back to regular Reaver if I want to. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm gonna say this much about this game so far, Squid. It definitely has the best combat system ever. Best combat system, not even questions asked. What I have against this game is the motion blur when you are swimming. I think that motion blur was absolutely unnecessary. It shouldn't be there. Enjoy combat and levels? Yeah, levels are pretty nice. Definitely when it comes to the graphical perspective of this game, there are significant advantages, but I already have also found several glitches that have came back from Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2, and that would be the audio glitches, that basically wrong music is playing in the wrong location, and also the fact that sometimes you hit an enemy just doesn't take any damage. Like the enemy, no, usually when you hit an enemy in this game, the enemy, you know, fumbles left and right. I already had few situations where I couldn't basically do that. The music is actually borrowed from the older Legacy of Kain games, only slightly remixed. So you're gonna definitely hear a soundtrack for Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, you're definitely gonna hear a soundtrack from Soul Reaver 2, and plus its own soundtracks added into Defiance. I can only hope that my stream is not gonna get like muted or anything like that. Because that would suck. And I'm going the wrong way. And they have a buffer somewhere. Yeah, that's the buffer enemy. I mean, I should be fine, but I don't know about the intro music. Because it's the intro music that has the song made by Information Society. So that's why I'd rather be cautious about that. Yeah, they don't know what's going on. I love that. I love the Dark Reaver. Its ability is actually pretty freaking useful. I freaking sent her to to kitchen. As freaking nasty as bad as this joke is bad. I just freaking sent her to freaking kitchen. Oh my god. suddenly sliding into those DMs gets a different meaning, man. Yeah, I actually need to learn to use it more often because this game offers so many ways to eliminate your enemies, and I'm basically using just the basic attacks, which actually that one is purely on me. Yeah, oh my god. The physics. What are physics? Yeah, I'm gonna get your soul. Because I need to feed. Jesus, the telekinesis here is just so broken. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's broken, but it's definitely hilarious to look at your enemies just flying miles and miles away. Bitch. Bitch. This is hilarious, dude. Fuck off. Phantasmal Tempest. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think the worst enemy out of all of these is gonna be the buffer now. Okay, I'm gonna power up my Reaver. Is that a full charge? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's full charge now. Yeah, she got that stupid shield of hers. Yeah, let me young your soul. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna charge my Reaver with your blood. Well, not really the blood, it's soul, but still charge the Reaver. I actually played Bulletstorm only once in my life, and I actually think it's a very good game. I could not complain about Bulletstorm. The ways you can kill the enemies was kind of similar to Doom 2016, come to think about it. If you really think about it, you could basically... It was like Doom 2016 only in baby form. Only you could not... Only in Bulletstorm, you cannot use your arms to rip the enemies apart. The only thing that you could use in Bulletstorm is just your environment, which was still pretty damn good.
As I drew near, triggering the door to close. I would need to find some means of approaching the door without being observed.
Yeah, I don't remember all the weapons. Like I said, I only played through Bulletstorm once in my life. So I technically don't really know that game all that well. Only basically using my memory to... Hold up. And charge. There we go. Is there anything in this area that I could use? Like a health orb or anything? Because I could definitely use one of these. Like, because it's my first playthrough since like 7 years or even more, I'm pretty sure I will be missing a lot of things like Dark Chronicles or Health Orbs or anything like that. And welcome back to the Spectral Realm. I'm actually gonna try to figure out if there's a way to remove the motion blur from this game. Because if there is something that makes me not really extremely annoyed, but if there's a one thing that actually makes me sick, like in real life, it's motion blur. Way too much of it. Yeah, you ain't gonna consume his soul. Wow, look at him. How did he manage to get out? I'm seriously starting to think that then the turning Slua into cannibals was actually a movement to prolong the game time, to prolong basically the gameplay time by allowing them to consume each other. Oh, wait. Okay, I see what the deal is. I need to get back to the material realm so I can jump on that platform so I can jump again to the material realm again. Fair enough. That's fair enough, I guess. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. Right, sorry about that. I need to clean my nose.
Against all odds, I had stumbled into Kain's own mausoleum. This seemed an unlikely coincidence.
Okay, so that shield will be useful with something. If you can even consider that a shield. Oh my god. Yep, save the game. Also, this game has several save chapters. And the funny thing is, about this picture, I don't know if you guys have noticed that right now he's look like a human, but okay. Let me switch to Spectral Realm. And let me look at that picture. Yeah, can you guys see? On his face? Like, all of a sudden his eyes have changed, his teeth are changed. I like that little details like that. Yeah, see that? All of a sudden his face is like pretty normal, like it is his actual human form. Yeah, the combat is definitely gonna get some getting used to, because in original story, even Server 2, at least for the 80% of the game, when it comes to the case Server 2, enemies that were behind you or the enemies you were not focusing on could attack you. They could not attack you. In this game, they can. So it's basically watching and observing which enemy is actually gonna plan to attack you next, so we can interrupt that. I think this actually predates Batman a little bit, because Batman had the same system. The Arkham Knight, you know, the Arkham Asylum games. Yeah, body language, it will definitely fit the description, I think. You can pick up baddies and chug them? Oh, you sure I cannot do that? Let me show, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, but let me show you. Let me try to find you a human being. Okay, I thought that all of those things can be actually open. Let me show you something. There is a telekinesis in this game, and technically you can do that. But okay, maybe not the shadows. If you want this, you can get the soundtrack of this game. It's perfectly available on YouTube. But if you want to have an even more detailed soundtrack, because the thing that you're hearing right now, it's a remix. To get like the actual soundtrack to this game, you need to take a look at Legacy of Kain Story River 1. Because technically this is a remake of a soundtrack from 1999. You know, but improved because video games. Okay, let me check that. Because I have noticed something over here, and I don't know if I should get through there. I think it's basically the entrance to the place and nothing else. Yep, that's the pillar that I was talking about earlier. The one's gonna allow me to do things. Can I actually push it myself? Yes, I can. In a little bit weird way, but I still can do that. Use the correct lever. Well, guess what? Surprise, surprise, correct lever has been used. And now it's the light forge. Use telekinesis to shatter the objects. Okay. Okay, so we need something for this. Some kind of an item that's somewhere in this area. Actually, hold on. Give me a second. I just need to take my hoodie off. Alright. I needed to take my hoodie off. As much as I love it, it was getting too warm for me in it. Egg. orb. Okay.
As I was transported to the vampire ruin once more. But this chamber was different than the first. In their defeat, the vampire's enemy retaliated with a terrible curse, afflicting the vampires with a bloodthirst that turned their once noble race into ravenous predators. This curse plunged the vampires into despair and apparently drove many to madness and self-annihilation. What was it that so devastated them that they were driven to suicide?
Well, maybe the blood curse itself, because it looks like it. So this... Okay, so this portal is broken. It looks like something... That looks like a Fire Reaver emblem. Okay, I'm definitely missing someone over here. Some kind of a gate. Or maybe some kind of a ladder. Oh yeah, there's the gate over there. Honestly, if I can avoid combat, I will do that. But then again, no. Yeah, only one man standing. That's pretty much all there is to it. Oh, they're probably infinitely spawning. They're probably infinitely spawning. I'm not gonna allow that. Okay, I wonder what maxed out Light Reaver does, because this is the Light Reaver that we have unlocked right now. Oh.
I had succeeded. The Reaver was forged with the power of light, and now my way was clear. I would seek out Ariel at the pillars and see if she could enlighten me.
And those are new enemies. Yeah, I need to... Yeah, the range of attack is actually pretty freaking brutal, not gonna lie. Okay, so the power attack doesn't work on him. I think I have somewhat figured out that enemy. Somewhat, but I'll need that enemy to have a little bit more health so I can figure out him even better. So I think I somewhat figured it out. Basically, TK once until he stun locks, and then 3 regular attacks. Where was the room with the souls? Because I could, oh, there it is. Found it. I found the room with the souls. Okay, so this takes me outside, or upstairs, and I know there are 2 rooms that I need to activate, so the teleporter could start working. And first I want to take a look around before I'm gonna make any moves so I don't miss it. Yeah, I think I need to use that ladder. Well, not really a ladder, a wall that I can actually climb. Because I have never seen the ladders in this game that would be, like, considered functional. That actually scared me. Okay, so that's the first one. Well, my left ear definitely felt that one. What about this door? It seems like this one cannot be unlocked. Well, anyway, time to use the portal because it seems like we can go back home. Probably before we're gonna reach the pillars, we are going to play as Kain for a moment, or several, in a matter of fact. Okay, so this gives me nothing. Good to know. Okay, so this is broken. What about the other end of the... Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to fight this guy. I think I'm assuming wrong strategy for Slua. Because eating them on a spot while they are going into like their ghost form, it's not good because there's always a lot of them, and if I'm gonna try to eat them, then they're gonna attack me. So someone tells me that this was intentionally done so the fights can be like super long for no reason. Yeah, I'm gonna use the Light Reaver for some time. I want to know what kind of effects it does. Like, what does it do to the enemy when you fully charge it?
I have time to depart the cemetery. I only needed to find the gate that would send me on my way.
Oh, I already know where that is. I already know. Oh boy. Shadows. Shadow boys. Yeah, I need to pick a specific Reaver to open that door. So it's gonna be Dark Reaver. Yeah, give me the Light Reaver now. Yeah, I can jump down from here now. Nothing stops me from that. Okay, now, so now I need to find my way back. Oh, that means we're gonna have to freaking fight through the swimming section again. The incredibly bad motion blur. Yeah, this enemy was a little bit too far. At least it's visually impressive, you know? Yeah, the game even tells you where you need to go. Which is alright, I guess. But I would... honestly, I think I kind of preferred the way the Soul Reaver 2 was handling, giving people hints. You simply had to watch the cutscenes that Razi was explaining the entire lore. And throughout those cutscenes, you could notice, like, details that were important for you to progress. Here is just camera takes the full control and shows you exactly where you need to go. So I don't really know how to feel about that. Oh boy. Yeah, those buffers needs to go. This buffer needs to go down first. actually getting freaking cornered over here. Oh yeah, Dodger, you want to see me handling an enemy? Yeah, not as Raziel, as Kain. I can telekinesis enemies away as far away from me as possible, that's true. Then I can do that. I'm getting freaking my ass whooped because there's just 2 buffers and there's way too many of them. There's just way too many enemies right now. The camera angles also doesn't really help that much. Yeah, and now it's healing. Oh, no shit, I need to feed soon. And, fuck it up. Yeah. What? You don't go to Spectral Realm anymore? What the fuck? Okay, okay. So it's 1 health bar system. You don't go to the Spectral Realm anymore. You don't? I mean, you get, but instead of getting... Okay, that is actually a downgrade. I would say that this is an actual downgrade. Because... normally, if you would go to Spectral Realm, you would just spawn in Spectral Realm at that spot. For some reason in Defiance, you spawn at the nearest checkpoint that you just did. I don't understand why that change was necessary. I think it wasn't at all. Also, I'm gonna bring a different Reaver. It's pretty clear that Dark Reaver it's gonna be superior because it's gonna allow me to hide myself and kill them one by one. Because these guys are just never stopping. You have a buffer that always constantly buffs and heals them and does everything for them. You got a guy that throws like a fireballs at you from a range. And they just don't stop. They just don't stop at all. I want you to feed on her. She can also teleport, so she's double annoying. Yeah, the other problem that this game still shares with its competitors, elevation. This game cannot deal well with enemies that are basically elevated above or below me. Because just let the enemy be above me for like 1 foot and all of a sudden all the attacks that I'm doing are just basically missing. Okay, I need to kill that guy. No, you're not killing him. Yeah, I'm trying to perform that attack that I can do on Kain, but I guess I cannot do that. There we go, that's the attack. But yeah, the moment we're gonna switch to Kain, I'm gonna try to use the digital controls to see if my movement is gonna improve or decrease. I just want to figure out which way of controlling this game is actually better, that's all. Because I'm right now using the analog stick.
An ancient gate, sealed by the powers of light and darkness, barred the way to the pillars beyond. To depart this place and continue my journey, I would have to find the means to open it.
Okay, now to swap the Reaver.
At last, the gate yielded to the powers of light and darkness with which the Reaver had been forged. The way to the pillars was open.
Yes, it was. And I think I only have found one health pack. Okay, now we're playing as Kain. Okay, let me switch gamepad digital. I just want to figure out what it is. Disabled, enabled. ZRX, RX, Z, ZRY, RX, RY. I want to figure out what it does. Oh, wait. I think the right analog stick have taken the controls. Well, I'm trying to use the digital gamepad type, but it doesn't switch, so I guess I'm gonna have to basically deal with this.
Get him!
Yeah, you are feeling my Reaver now, son. Did I just get interrupted or something? Damn it. Are you running away like a little bitch you are? Oh. Wait, did this guy just kill the guys for me? Because that is a serious help. Hold up, what kind of Reaver do I have? Because this is the regular Reaver and this is the Fire Reaver.
How strange. To see this place long before my birth. Centuries before the corruption set in that would poison the land and put me on the treacherous path I still followed. In the future, these edifices would be condemned to darkness and decay. I would cause their fall and build my empire upon their ruins. Was it still possible that with the right knowledge, the right moves, I might one day see Nosgoth restored, the pillars pure once more? My answer, according to Mobius, lay somewhere to the west of this place. I could restore the world, perhaps, but never again could I give Nosgoth back her innocence.
What you need to understand about this game is that Kain was never evil. He was never evil. Anti-hero, more likely, but he was never an antagonist. That's a huge difference right there. Where's the way I entered? I think it's over here, because I think I missed something because of the battle. Let me head back a little bit. Oh yeah, enemy. Oh, that's a guy with a claymore. Okay. Oh yes, Dodger. You can actually toss enemies as much as you want. Are you good? Yeah, okay. Don't drink you dry. Okay, this is where I arrived. And this is where oh yeah, the tactical aiming. Tactical aiming. See, not really tactical, it's just manual aiming. Okay, so now this burns. But I think I need to find some kind of artifact for this to actually work. Yeah, this is Kain. Not Carrie. Where did you win with Carrie with that? When I think Carrie, I think about that horror movie, but those are two different characters. Telekinetic fire. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That, well, now that you said that, that actually makes sense. The telekinesis and doing something like that, yeah. Now I remember that scene at the what was that? The high school party or something? That is water. I forgot that this is water. I didn't notice the water right down below me. Okay. Also, it's I'm sorry. I know it's being nitpicky, but Kain is with K, not with C. Yeah, because you're thinking Decker Kain. You're possibly thinking Decker Kain, if anything. Stay a while and listen. Yes. And that's a health piece. Is there a way to, like, move forward from here? Doesn't look like it. And I will try, but I doubt it. Yeah, that's... That takes me to the water, so no. Not through here, not through here. Well, at least we got the health piece. So... what's next over here? Yeah, vampires hate baths. They are allergic to taking baths. Sploosh. 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 Can I get number 4? Yup. Oh, wait, I need to wait for the TK to actually... Yeah, not enough. Ooh, I can actually kill him? What? Yeah, get some swimming lessons, asshole. I mean, try to swim with the 30-pound armor on yourself. Like, good luck. You ain't gonna do that. You're just not gonna do that. Yeah, that's true. Vampires kinda do have an excuse. actually really like the rendered version of the pillars. Much more detail. In Story River 2, we can see that those pillars are actually going very deep into the ground. I actually don't know how high they can go. Yeah, someone tells me that I'm missing something. Whoa.
Die, vampire!
Yeah, it's a claymore, boy. Give me some sugar. And by sugar, I mean clearly blood. Interesting. How do we deal with this then? Because this doesn't want to open. And there's nothing above that would say, hey, you can use this to open that door. I'm probably missing on something. Yeah, it's clear that I'm missing something. Some kind of a tool, because that thing shines there for a reason, I think. I guess the other way around then to just move forward and try to figure out, hey, the archers are back. But how do I move over there then? Hold on, let me take a look. I don't think there's a way to move over there. Yeah, I cannot go through here. So there must be some kind of a different... I mean, okay, we have a different path over here. Oh my god, I'm dumb. I totally forgot that I can do this. Yeah, that's a brain fart moment. It's fine, it's okay. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I wish I could know where the freaking mage is so he doesn't buff them. Hey, Crossroad. The era Kain is in where he's just trying to purify the pillars. I don't really know. The time traveling in this game is it's a pretty complicated thing. Because you don't really have a year. You only have a minimal data that, hey, this is like 500 years here, 500 years there, and you don't really know that. Yeah, I wish I knew how to get to them. Yeah, the telekinesis bars are gonna take a little bit of getting used to. Isn't the 500 minutes before Blood Omen 1? Doubt it, because we have Sarafan. Because we have the Sarafans over here. So it cannot be 500 years. Yeah, there must be some kind of a way for me to climb over there. Okay, he's stuck, so that's good. There is a history 500 years before Kain. Yes, we get to that moment, but the timeline that we are here right now, rather not. I think this is the timeline right before the Blood Omen, but definitely not 500 years. I sincerely doubt that. Okay, where do I need to climb from here? Okay, so that doesn't really help. Am I missing something over here? Maybe there's something that I need to, like, push away. Hold up. Let me take a good look. I mean, there must be a way to climb over there. Hold up, maybe? Well, the camera angle doesn't really allow me to do anything else. Intriguing. This is why I miss having a controllable... Oh, there it is. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. Now I see. Who doesn't like throwing enemies to their deaths? I also like being able to, like, you know, get up and not get absolutely annihilated. What? I just throw him like that? Even though I know I need to feed? That was weird, dude. I just throw him on the ground like it's nobody's business. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Can't complain.
My path ended here, offering only this empty vista. Was this another of Mobius's little jokes? Or a puzzle for which I had not yet found the answer?
Yeah, that's the thing that we need to find and deliver at the beginning over there, at that gate that had the lights and stuff. Yes, the lights and stuff.
This symbol seemed familiar. Perhaps I needed to recover another fragment of the balance emblem before I could proceed.
Fights again before Raziel and... Nah, I don't think the Legacy of Kain needs any game like that. In my opinion, we are currently as good as we can be. without butchering a good video game series. I really miss the fact that you could like adjust your camera to see what is actually going on in front of you. That's like... I really miss that, you know? Being able to control your battlefield. Bruh. Yeah, that was pointless. Bye. How the turntables... Yeah, I think I need to drop down from here. Hold up, let me take a look. Yep. Gonna have to drop down there. Okay, chill. Wow. Only play those games that I like. I cannot answer that right now.
Die, vampire!
I just wasted a blood fountain. I keep on forgetting about not holding the auto phase. Yeah, if there's one game that I'm not gonna play from Legacy of Kain series, it's Blood Omen 2. Blood Omen 2 is shit. I'm not even gonna take a look at that game. Blood Omen 2 is absolutely horrendous. Soul Reaver 2 is alright, but its difficulty scaling is absolutely relentless. And Blood Omen 2 is overall just bad. It's like... It's a poor to me, Blood Omen 2 is a poor excuse for a prequel. Honestly, I'm just gonna toss your... oh, I cannot. Okay. I'm just gonna eat you then. You started Blood Omen 2? What an awful way to start. I mean, you might like the Blood Omen too. It's just not my thing. Every game out of the series has its like weak and strong side. I think Soul Reaver 1 has the best puzzles. Oh boy. More Shadow Boys. It really feels like oh wait, there's something up there. Oh, that's for Raziel, because that's a Light Reaver right there. And technically, if I'm gonna step a little bit closer, that's not gonna be good. I already see where I need to go. Health Emblem. No, that's actually Mana Emblem. That's good. I need more mana anyway, even if it's a small percentage. Let me take a look on this place, you know? Maybe there's something else that I'm missing, and it doesn't look like it. There we go.
Another fragment of the Balance Emblem. This one endowed with the properties of dimension. Perhaps this would reveal the mystery that lay west of the Pillars, if Mobius spoke the truth, and there was indeed something there to find.
I actually want to try that Reaver. Hold up. Yep, there goes the Dimension Reaver. I want to know what it does, besides farting all over the place and spreading a yellow cloud. I really want to find the Seraphim right now with this blade. Yeah, there we go. Are you dead? Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, that's actually freaking fantastic, dude. Not gonna lie, that freaking special attack was actually pretty freaking neat. I do truly believe that Kain Reavers are mostly built for area of effect, like crowd control situations. Which is not bad. Yeah, I want him closer. Yeah, I'm gonna drink him up. Oh boy, 3 Claymore, guys. Every time I want to dodge. Oh my god, okay. I'm not watching my enemies at all. I'm focusing on one target only instead of watching my surroundings. I need to focus on the battle. Oh boy. Even more Claymore babies. And of course they have a buffer. Because I have noticed how big of a damage difference how much of a difference in damage I have inflicted. Or they have inflicted. Camera angles can be a killer. Oh my god, I love this dude. Kain just teleports to them. Just straight up kills them. Okay, I want to climb on this, thank you. Oh, okay. You guys don't want to play fair? That's cool. It would be a shame if I also had something that is not very, very fair. And this guy just gave up. Yeah, this game is great, dude. It definitely still has its flaws, visible or not. But I can't hate on this game. Especially on this one, on Soul Reaver 2. I'm actually kind of willing to hate for the difficulty adjustment of this game. Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? I can truly hate on Soul Reaver 2's difficulty adjustment. Because it's in halfway through the game just jumps in difficulty from 0 to 200. And not even 100, actually 200. There we go. Like, the story is great, the voice acting is amazing in Soul Reaver 2, but the difficulty adjustment? Yikes. Just one big yikes. I think I dodged that. Fully charged? Yep. fuck off. Wow, I mean, dude, they did such a good job with telekinesis in this game. In Story 1, the telekinesis was like in its bare bones, when you could only use the telekinesis bolt not only if you defeated a mini boss, but also you only could use it with the Reaver. In Story 2, it went even worse. Sure, you didn't have to boss, you had the telekinesis with you, but to aim, to use the telekinesis, you had to use the analog press, the L3 button, and it was the worst way to aim in any game that I have ever seen in my life. Here is just hold the button, the game automatically aims for you and just
this
poof.
lake, miraculously now cleared away, revealing an ancient citadel. So Mobius had not lied. Or perhaps this was simply another of the time streamer's illusions meant to slow my true endeavor.
I have so much freaking fun when I'm playing as Kain. I wish this entire game was around Kain and not... okay, maybe not delete the Raziel. But honestly, I do truly believe that this game was supposed to be maybe split between two games. And I also don't understand why we are constantly switching the characters between Kain, Raziel. Yeah, Kain, Raziel, instead of doing Raziel's story and Kain's story then. I would prefer that much more rather than jumping from chapter to chapter and basically having to kind of relearn how a specific character moves. Because, for example, in an example of Kain is far more agile, he's much more faster. I can perform some movements much better with Kain. When Raziel, some of his movements are much slower, and when I'm switching the characters, I think their speeds, their movements is identical. And they're not. Because Raziel, for example, he cannot hold the targets with telekinesis. He cannot do that. Kain, on the other hand, he can hold the targets, he can bring the targets to him, he can damage them, while in the telekinesis, it's a different story. So basically two different control schemes, I think. You could reach the same ending
The vampire hunters, brazen as
the
they
way
were,
I just told you.
feared to walk these paths. I knew one spirit haunted this place. Perhaps there were others as well.
You could technically reach the same kind of ending, no matter what. Like, I'm being honest. You could, because because we all know. Okay, we know the story. The game concludes with two those characters meeting in one spot. If the ending basically concludes in the same way, then what's the difference? Oh my god, I actually remember. You're probably gonna get fatties over here, aren't we? Are we gonna get fatties? No, we got a witch bitch. Okay, that witch have actually created a shield for me. Which on one side, that's a huge help. On the other, not so much. Shattered Spirit, okay. And there goes the fatty. Fatty met Fatterson. that witch needs to go first, but she got the freaking shield now. Oh my god. I cannot freaking defend myself. Oh my god, I'm so dead, dude. Oh wait, never mind. Hold up. I think I can take this. Get shit on, my dude.
These smouldering sconces seemed as though they would ignite.
That is...
fire source.
Yeah, that is a, very odd way to initiate a cutscene in the middle of a fight. Alright, let me get your soul because I need to heal myself. There we go. And I have noticed some kind of a way forward. You need to wait to, like, light them up, huh? Okay, so that means you need to find the fire reaver. Most likely. Which river? Oh, hello there. Oh. Well, now we have to go all the way back. Bye. Yeah, you can stay over here, Johnny. Enjoy the views, Johnny. I don't need your ass. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, I think I get it. So we need to probably bring those things down somehow. So I can move this, so I can lit this on fire with this. Okay. Let me check this room. Because there must be some kind of mechanism that drops those, I don't know, those barricades down. If you can even call it a barricade. Ah, there it is. Okay. So this thing unlocks one thing at a time. Wish I could unlock like 2 of those barriers at the same time. Okay. Now my eye has started to be itchy. Can I use teleportation? Nope. In Legacy of Kain Story 1, I could use this teleportation to move solid objects. We'll miss that. We'll miss that ability. Okay, so now I can lit this on fire. Which is definitely the point. But now I need to deliver it somewhere else too. I doubt it's for the middle of the room. Never mind, it is for the middle of the room.
I sought to unravel the mystery of my fate, and in this image lay my first clue. For this scene depicted the forging of the Reaver, the weapon destined to become my prison, and I recognized its maker. The years had changed him, but this was unmistakably the vampire Vorador, and in this era, he still lived. If I could reach him before Mobius's mob hunted him down, he would provide the answers I sought.
Ah, yeah, the
These
Vorador.
images chronicled Vorador's
The Vorador mansion.
creation.
I remember that.
As I already knew, he had not been born a vampire, but had been turned by the infamous Janos Audron. But this mural suggested that Vorador's origins were even more significant. Apparently, he was the first human to whom the dark gift had been passed. This was the vampires' desperate bid to preserve their bloodline, for their enemies had cursed them not only with bloodthirst, but with sterility as well.
Yep, pretty much blood curse. This time this door is unlocked. And I can already hear some evildoers downstairs. Okay, I have a light Reaver. I'm probably gonna switch to the dark Reaver anyway. Until I'm gonna get the fire Reaver. Because fire Reaver definitely gonna deal more damage. That looks like a fire fountain. Maybe. There's more to this room than I think. I mean, I obviously know that I probably will have to go to the Spectre realm because of this room over there. Looks like a graveyard of some sort. I think there's supposed to be 2 rooms like that. Because I'm reaching in my memory right now, and yeah, there are 2 rooms like that. Okay, fine. Well, no time to waste.
I was met by the spectre of the Nature Guardian, monstrously deformed since its death centuries ago.
Rejoice, creature, for today
Cheers.
your spirit will return to the One.
Delicious. Oh shit. Okay, I don't know what's more annoying. I really don't know what's more annoying, the tentacles or the fact that she was just spamming those balls all over the place. I think best game without God mode. The only game that you can beat without, you cannot essentially beat without cheating is the Soul Reaver 2. The game itself even basically gives you a God mode. Soul Reaver 2 basically gives you a God mode. And it's
Apparently, a
pretty
single
sad.
soul was not enough to activate this
The
spirit
developers know
vessel. Perhaps another
themselves.
specter was lurking around here somewhere.
It's pretty sad that developers know themselves that they made a game with impossible difficulty scaling, and they have to give you an instant health regeneration for you to survive the rest of the game. You might as well actually use the cheat for the God mode in Soul River 2 the moment you're trying to get to the Janus Audra. The moment you see the armored, actually armored Seraphants, you can start using God mode from there, because the game becomes absolutely unplayable. Here it's still challenging. Quite challenging, but it's still challenging. Okay, so we already have cleared that. Honestly, if I'm ever gonna do Soul Reaver Marathon, which I probably will eventually, probably gonna cast like a sub-goal for that.
Approaching the tomb, I was met by the specter of the Guardian himself.
Eternity weighs heavily.
I have a solution.
I bear it in a tomb. But your moment of existence has passed. Come and be released.
Oh, so this guy has shadows, okay. I want to execute a specific attack. But I have difficulty doing that. Oh my god, him pushing me away, it's actually not very helpful. That's the stuff. Yeah, I'll defeat him. There we go. The several stabs like this is the attack I wanted to perform because it stumps him for longer. I just need to like figure out a good way to actually execute that attack because I never do. I think I'm gonna switch some controls. I think I'm gonna go for the spectral realm for the select button and looking around as R3 button. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Jump, telekinesis. Look around. No, not button 6, button 9. That's not gonna happen. Spectral. There we go. Numpad in the button 6. That's what I want to do. Okay, it all works the same way. That's good enough for me. Okay, so we have 4 of the fountains that we need to use. Well, this path is blocked.
As the Reaver absorbed the souls of the Nature and Conflict Guardians, it was imbued with the elemental power of fire with which their principles were aligned. I was now equipped to reach the pillars.
Delicious. Yep, that's That's a fire reaver, and it's definitely gonna be very, very useful. Okay, but now I need to also find the 4 lanterns like this. The 4 fountains. In Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2, those things were fountains in which I was able to re-imbue the Reaver with the element of... with a specific element like darkness, wind, light, fire. You know, all that good stuff. Raziel part, like every single, if you say it's Raziel part, I constantly am willing more to believe that the part you are mentioning is the basically final 15%, 25% of the game. I cannot think of any other game or any other part of those games that actually require you to have a god mode. Like, I'm being honest right now. Yeah, I need to learn how to perform that attack more often, more consistently. You're like right there, Raziel. I think I first need to find those 2 standing lanterns, or anything like that. Then I can perform anything over here. There was also a broken-ass door, like a broken gate of sorts. Unless I'm doing something, no, I'm pretty sure I'm doing something. Oh, yep, there it is. There's another lantern, it's hidden right behind the rocks, but because of the camera angles, I was not able to notice them. That's 2 out of 4. We cannot go through here. If there's one thing that I always will miss, it's adjustable camera angles, where you could just, you know, if you wanted to take a look at something, you could just press either 1 button or 2 buttons at the same time, and there you go, you could just do whatever the hell you wanted. You could look whenever you wanted. I miss that option. It's not available in this game anymore. Why? I have no freaking clue. There must have been some kind of reason for that. Then again, this game was trying to be, at least it feels like, this game was really trying to be as Devil May Cry as possibly could be. Okay, how do I activate this then? Oh, I see now. It was right in front of my face, I didn't notice that. That's number 3. And 4. When it comes to Defiance, I really don't remember any part of the game that was like unbeatable. Every part of this game is, I believe it is pretty much beatable. I think the major factor that decides if you're gonna beat this game or not is just your patience. Which in case of Soul Reaver 2, it's even a bigger... It's a factor that's even a bigger caliber. Because you really need a lot of patience to beat that game. Well, maybe not most of the game, because most of the game is basically puzzles, and fair combat. It's the last quarter of the game that tastes your patience to the absolute limit. And then even the game is like, hey, you can cheat now. We're gonna give you a tool which allows you to cheat. Instant regeneration of health at all times. And why did they give you that instant regeneration of health? Because of plot demands it. And I think this is that's not good. That's not how it should be made. If you're doing really final boss fights or even any boss fights in that matter, they should be challenging. And the consequence of getting hit should be there. In the meantime, they just gave you constant health regeneration, which is not rewarding. And of course, the AI is cranked even more. So that basically means that every time you're gonna try to fight the NPC, once they're gonna attack you, they're not gonna stop attacking you. Which pretty much also means that you're gonna have a very limited window for you to attack them at all times. Even with the constant health regeneration, that's the saddest part. I just want to swap Reavers, thank you. No, that's... oh my god. Yeah, enemies at the gates. Burn. Okay, now that I have a fire reaver, I possibly am able to move over here now. Wait, what? I cannot use the fire with the telekinesis? Okay, I guess I have to imbue those by myself. Fair enough, fair enough. Though I don't understand why Kain has it easier, but... I guess just Raziel things. They did it... oh my goodness, okay, whoa. Yeah, I need to pick my targets, dude. Okay, that's not what I wanted. That is exactly not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that was a long-range attack. That's the stuff. Give me your fat-ass soul. But yeah, as far as I remember in Defiance, it wasn't really that problematic.
Nosgoth, crumbling in decay now, following the corruption of the Circle. Here I would find Ariel, the specter of the murdered Balance Guardian, and the last pure, undefiled member of the Guardian Circle. Bound here upon her death, she was doomed to haunt these pillars until her successor fulfilled his terrible duty, and balance was restored.
What manner of creature approaches?
I know you well, Ariel, though you do not yet know me.
I have no time for riddles, strange one.
All you have is time. I have come to seek your guidance.
I counsel only one man, and you are not he. But you will know him soon. The contagion of your kind is coming to an end.
My kind? What exactly do you think I am?
Your name shall remain unspoken, as decreed by our ancestors. You serve the one who so brutally took my life and set this tragedy in motion. But even now, hope is at work. Balance will be restored, and your kind will be expelled forever.
You have pinned your hopes on Kain. He will disappoint you.
What can you know of Kain?
More than you could ever fathom.
He will do what he must when the time comes.
By choosing his own death. A sacrifice for the world. You don't know Kain very well.
I know what he is called to do. My faith sustains me.
Is it faith or fear? You know that if Kain refuses the sacrifice, you will never leave here. And you begin to suspect.
I will not hear your poison, fiend.
Grant me the answers I require, and I will leave you to your pathetic delusions.
Ask then.
I seek the vampire Vorador.
To kill him, perhaps, or to join him in death. But for Kain, he is the last of his kind. Mobius's mob has done its work.
My reasons are my own.
His refuge lies in the heart of the Black Forest. And may you molder there together until the end comes.
It's really weird. Let me tell you something about Ariel. She changes her personality throughout all 3 games. In Soul Reaver 1, she's like, yeah, Raziel, you're my friend, and I'm gonna give you cryptic metaphors 24/7. In Soul Reaver 2, she acts like she's very scared and she is really afraid of Raziel. Here, Ariel is very arrogant. She's like so confident. She's like so confident of the fact that the Kain is gonna restore the balance to Nosgoth and bring the the pillars back together. So blindly confident. It's like. Yeah, I need your soul. Okay, now that we have the buffer out of the way. Before the pillars ruined, were all guardians humans. According to the lore, the very first pillars, the pillars of Nosgoth themselves were always built by vampires. They always belonged to the vampires. But because they have lost their fight with, well, they were winning their fight with Hilden. But what Hilden done is they put a curse on the vampires. And basically what happened is that vampires started craving blood and they were infertile. So, because pillars need to have remaining guardians, what have happened is that basically the first guardians have became human. That basically what happened. Oh, you son of a gun. Okay, who are we fighting? Fat ass? Yeah, we got a fat ass. We got a fat ass, we got a buffer. Okay, I need your soul. Now for the buffer. also need your soul. Okay, that was not a good dodge. Okay, give me your soul. There we go. But yeah, the vampires was always the guardians of the pillars. But because Hilden have put a curse on them, they basically needed to start getting humans as a guardians. And then humans have turned on vampires, and you know, we basically have the situation that the one that we got right now. Where when vampires were basically extended, but every single thing that have happened over here was basically a part of gigantic
This seemed to be attuned
conspiracy
to the elemental principle of air.
that was engineered by, well, I will not say by who, because that would be kind of a spoiler, but it was basically the one gigantic conspiracy engineered by something. Even in Soul Reaver 2, it was mentioned that if there is something going on, then one hand doesn't know what the second hand does, and it's actually very true. Because both vampires and the Seraphan are pretty much Muppets. And actually, I would say that Seraphan has it worse, because Seraphans basically don't know that they're being controlled. They're just being like, "Yup, I'm gonna follow that." Yeah, but I don't want to spoil everybody else in the chat. I think that would be not very nice if I would just say, "Hey, this is the actual baddie in the game." Oh, you did not play the game? Well, sucks to be you. Go to Human Guardians, this would be... Yeah, it keeps the magic going. Also, I'm gonna keep the same rule if I'm ever gonna do the Marathon Legacy of Kain, because now the only game that I actually need to get from the Legacy of Kain series is the Blood Omen. But I'm gonna wait for the GOG version to be released, because it's already gonna be patched for the Windows 7 and Windows 10 systems, while the Steam version probably wouldn't be. Burn, bitch! I think I'm going kind of overkill with this guy. That was a kind of an overkill. I ain't gonna lie. Oh boy. Are we gonna get a fat ass? Yeah, you're getting a fat ass, of course. Oh, totally. He was just asking for it, dude. just pushed somebody into oblivion. I don't know who I have pushed to oblivion, but I could definitely hear a screams of somebody falling down. Bitch. Wait, I cannot climb that? Oh, because Kain needs to destroy that. Okay, yeah, fair enough, I guess. I guess that's fair enough. Yeah, this game is actually pretty freaking... I'm actually getting so much into this game. Mostly because of the combat. Like, combat in this game is just so freaking good. It's like... I don't know what to say, man. I really enjoyed the combat of this game. Oh, okay, that's not the button I want to press. I should like keep on saying like what the story is, but every time I try to say something, it's just combat. I'm focusing on it so much. I cannot help but to adore the combat system in this game. It's so good. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's straight up inspired by Devil May Cry, but God, I love it. I wish I could... I really wish I could see this combat in Soul Reaver 2 or Soul Reaver 1, but doubtful. Oh. This is the Air Reaver. I remember, if I recall correctly, Air Reaver was actually pretty fun because it was lighter and it was actually faster to use. Oh, I'll be damned. So how do we deal with this now? Hold up, can I move this rock towards me? Nope. If I'm gonna move this over here, does that releases the pressure? Yes, it does. Okay. There we go. Now we got it. Ooh, hold up. I need to actually go faster with this. Higher and... Fuck. Try again. There we go. Howling Heartstone. It looks like a lungs. Like a set of lungs. Okay, so you put this over here. I think it needs those... I think it requires air to function again. And definitely not this way. Yep, it required air. They say it's hardstone, I would call it lungstone or anything. This even makes sounds. Like, heart is not able to... I mean, okay, the heartbeat is a sound, but the heart is not able to produce this kind of sound.
I was transported to another ancient vampire chamber. This one apparently aligned with the elemental power of air. These murals had suffered some damage. Once again, I recognized the vampire's hero. But this scene revealed something new. For here they had also depicted his destined adversary, now partially obscured, who seemed to bear a flaming sword.
Wait, there's something upstairs? Nah. Okay. Well, hello there. I'm not a vampire. More like a wraith. Give me that soul so I can regen. And then soul for regeneration. Oh, also on Monday I will have the webcam. Also, what is important for the people who are here who haven't voted yet? Exclamation mark poll. The poll is important. So pick that poll. Make a choice because it is important to me and for the future of the stream. Just saying. Because I really want to give it a try. Want to see how many people is gonna run away from me. Because they're gonna say, oh my god, she's so ugly. Look at this guy, she's so unattractive. I'm gonna be absolutely vain and just gonna run away. Content doesn't matter, you need to look good. I mean, I'm pretty sure that not a lot of people will care about that, but still. I like to imagine that there are actually people so vain like that. Not vain, that's not even a word. So vile? Not even vile. What is the word that I'm looking for? Assholes? I mean, that's close. That's the closest that I'm thinking about, so I guess it would fit. But yeah, exclamation mark poll for the voting thingamajig. It is important to me. And to the stream. Yay, Guardians.
In winning all, we lost all. In winning what we thought mattered, we lost what truly mattered. But for you, there is a chance.
What chance is that?
The bliss of death. I offer it.
But I do not accept.
Okay, so she's summoning phantoms. Well, that's clever. Okay, she has like 1 health. Jesus. The first half of the fight was actually pretty freaking good. Oh no, I have so little health and I have now and now I have to fight all of them. Okay, video game. Let's assume that this is fair, which is not. Okay, where's the second room? Because I'm not gonna fight these guys. Forget about that. Is that the second room? Nope, that's the first room. Okay then, where's the second room? Do I need to return back to the material realm for the second room to unveil itself? Maybe? Maybe, just maybe. I'm gonna give it a try. No, not really, because that's the first 50% of the soul. So where's the second graveyard? Where's the second room? Because I'm constantly running past through only one of the rooms with the grave. Yeah, there must be something more to this. I'm probably gonna have to activate something somewhere. Okay, but not through here. And not through here, because this is pretty much where we started, so this is not the room. Well, obviously we cannot use the Fire Reaver. Webcam is a good thing for the streamers on Twitch. Yeah, I have my own opinions about that, but I simply want to adjust to what populace will see or will say, and then, you know, I'm gonna give the webcam a try. And if that's not gonna work, then I'm simply not gonna use it. But having a webcam in real life is still something that I want to have, because of, like, you know, like work conferences or anything like that, if I'm ever gonna have any. It's even if I'm gonna get a webcam, and let's assume that I'm gonna switch systems. When Windows 11 requires you to have an active webcam, which to me it's stupid. Why would Windows require you to have a webcam? Like, what? What's the point? But yeah, if I'm ever gonna have to switch on Windows 11, I'm gonna have to have a webcam, so that is pretty much unavoidable. Okay, I'm missing a second room somewhere. I'm probably missing the room that I'm looking for with the second garden is so obvious. Like, I'm pretty sure that the room is pretty obvious and I just cannot see it for some stupid reason. It's more interactive. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But there's pros and there's cons. Oh, I'm stupid. I did not notice that hole in the wall. There's pros and there's cons to using a webcam. There always are. Like with the webcam, you exposed a little bit about yourself, whether you like it or not. Yeah, there goes the second one. There we go. Let's hope that she's not gonna use the clones again, because ooh, that would be annoying.
You too share the curse. Submit and be released.
Nah.
Never.
Yeah, Razu shares my thoughts about this. Yeah, when the camera is only pointing in one direction, it's impossible to notice where you actually have to go. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die so badly here because of the stupid camera angle. I think this is the worst part about this game, is the camera angle. Like, I'm not even joking. I truly believe that having a... Oh my god, this camera angle was horrible. Because enemy was constantly going for the corner. He was going every single time when he does something. He was going as far away from you as possible. Away from your camera angles plus ranged attacks. That means you will be unable to see him. This is like, oh my god, this is like a basic fault of the game design, right there. It's like, it's a very basic fault. Ooh, there was something over there. I wish we should get a soul. Oh, there we go. That's defeating. 5 seconds rule. I don't care if that food came from the floor. 5 second rule. Please selling my health is gonna get increased because I kind of really need it. Yes! Even if just a little bit, it's still a health increase. Oh my god. Okay, so now we're gonna get... I think this is the Air Reaver. If I'm correct. Like, don't get me wrong, I think having a webcam is definitely more interactive, but also the other thing is, it's gonna be another space on this on the screen. Like, it's gonna take a piece of the gameplay. Okay, so where do I need to go now? Well, because we definitely cannot go through here, I guess I have to go to the Spectre Realm again. Does that rock move? Nope. Yeah, I would have to go to Spectre Realm because this is like probably the only passage to get what I was planning to get. So yeah. And this is the barricaded passage, so I need to go a little bit more further. Oh god. I'm also kind of afraid of using webcam because I have some behaviors. I have some really weird behaviors. Like, for example, like it definitely can be noticed that if somebody talks to me, I'm answering them rudely, even though I don't mean that. Like, sometimes I tend to look angry, even though I'm not. Remake of the series? Yeah, there was one remake in the plan, but I think the project have died. There was a plan of remake of Soul Reaver 1, but we only have seen like...
As the Reaver absorbed the souls of the Mind and Dimension Guardians, it was imbued with the elemental power of air with which their principles were aligned.
Oh, that's actually pretty freaking amazing. That's actually pretty great. Does this have a time limit or something? Nah, but on top of everything, you know, I just know that I have a few quirks. Hey Dante, of course I'm playing different games than Fallout. That's the entire goal of this channel right now, is to bring a variety. I'm not gonna play only one game series, that's just not gonna happen. Playing just one game series kills me. I have played Fallout 4 for 2 years straight, and I'm gonna be honest, I already feel exhausted playing that game. So for a change, I decided to play Fallout 3, which is good. But I'm gonna also play Dark Souls, Resident Evils, that I already have played during the weekends. I want to play a variety of the video games. Because getting stuck in one video game is just... Getting stuck with one video game series is very bad. I would say it would be quite sickening to me to constantly play only one video game all the time. Because eventually I would not feel any joy. Like any joy at all from playing video games. And I do believe that's actually the worst thing that you can do to a gamer or to a streamer. It's simply kill the entire joy from streaming. Yeah, that's true, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not Rex. and I don't mean that in a bad way. He likes playing Fallout 4, he sets himself a challenge, he just wants to beat the game for the challenge. And that's okay. The thing is, it's not me. That's all there is to it. Of course, I don't mean it in a wrong way. I also see Rex actually branching out a little bit with the video games. Like, he played Diablo 3, he played Vampire Survivors. He's branching out, and that's also good for him. But branching out and switching games is also a very good way to verify who is on your channel for you and who is just for the game. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, he's dead. He's 100% dead. Like, it's as brutal as it sounds, that's actually the reality. Oh boy. We got a fatty on the mountain. Oh. Yeah, I need to jump to me, okay? Still cannot get used to that. There we go. Defenses are down. Follow the boars you? Yeah. I can understand why, because there's just so much to do, there's so many conversations. Follow doesn't bore me, I would say. I don't really find Fallout boring in any way, shape, or form. To me, it's more about just playing one and the same video game all the freaking time. Princess, yeah, that's true. Princess got a buyout, but does it really promises anything? I don't know. Because I know for a fact that Bethesda still has the power. They still can do whatever they want. With their... With their thing. So, people are just falling into that false sense of optimism that Microsoft is gonna get the thing done, you know? It's an absolutely false sense of safety. Bethesda only have acquired... Microsoft only have acquired Bethesda. That's it. Just because they're acquired, that doesn't really mean anything. Embrace a group. Yeah, I'm talking in general. That just because Bethesda got bought by Microsoft doesn't mean anything. And yes, that's true. Square Enix have basically been buying the rights for the Legacy of Kain series. I don't really remember to whom, but it also doesn't have to mean anything. It might mean nothing at all. I really wish the best for like Legacy of Kain, so we could see like remake of the first game or a remaster. I would like to see remaster of the second game, because if only the second game did not have a bullshit difficulty adjustment, you would pretty much have yourself an absolutely amazing game. Like not even joking around. Give a remaster, change the difficulty scaling a little bit, and you will have an absolute brilliant experience. With a voice acting that is like one of the best in the entire gaming period. Yeah, we got a buffer somewhere. I don't know where the buffer is. Yeah, I need to get that buffer out of the way. Okay, got your shield down. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Just give me a moment, okay? Bethesda and Microsoft have literally nothing to do with this. Yes, because I'm talking about a different thing. I'm saying that Microsoft bought Bethesda, but just because Microsoft bought Bethesda, that doesn't really mean anything. Just like Square Enix and the rights to Legacy of Kain being bought by a different company, that also doesn't have to mean anything. I mean, there's hope, but hope for what? You know, that's what I'm saying. Jim, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. The appeal of Diablo 2 is done successfully. Diablo 2, you have to be. When it comes to Diablo 2, you basically have to like art style RPGs. It's definitely likable. Embracer outright said they want to more Legacy of Kain and Deus Ex. Good. The thing is, just because somebody says something doesn't mean that's true. I really wish it was true. Believe me. I really want for that to be true. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a remaster myself. Like, I'm just saying, yeah. Remaster of Soul Reaver 1, Soul Reaver 2 would be brilliant. Or maybe just include all the games in one package. You'll buy that for $1? I would buy it for $5. Actually, no, because I'm a Soul Reaver fan, I would just buy it full price. And I'm not even joking.
The Reaver endowed the elemental power of air. The way to Vorador's refuge lay open at last. If the old vampire still lived, he alone could tell me how to escape the terrible destiny charted for me when the Reaver was forged. Vorador's refuge was hidden deep within the Black Forest. I hope to find him before Mobius's cutthroats did.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time to call it a day here, actually. So I only have like what, 10 minutes left?
And so I arrived at the citadel of my vampire ancestors, long abandoned since their extinction eons ago. Perhaps it still held the wisdom of its creators. Here, Mobius said I would find proof that Raziel was not what I thought he was, or hoped he would be. But in sending me here, Mobius had done me an unexpected, or perhaps an unwitting service. For it was my destiny, not Raziel's, my role as Scion of Balance, whose secrets I was here to discover.
Let me guess, I'm gonna get attacked right now. Yep, okay, let's clear out the shadows before I'm gonna progress. Because I only have 10 minutes left, and I think this would be a good way to stop. Because I don't want to stop in the middle of doing a puzzle or something like that. It's just not gonna look good on YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna save here, make a new save. But yeah. I'm gonna call it a day here. It's a good game. This game is definitely much, much better. Like I said, so far I praise the freaking controls. I praise the gameplay. I praise that the maps are actually very linear, and the puzzles. Actually, I'm kind of regret that the puzzles are not as good as they were. Like I'm gonna be honest. The puzzles in Legacy of Kain Server 1 and Server 2 were actually better than here. Here's just point, click, go kill guy, go do this. Damn, it's over. It's done. It's. I kind of miss those old puzzles. But that's it. Like the only major thing that I have noticed that is bad in the Defiance, you cannot adjust the camera angles, and you can camera angles and the motion blur. Oh my god, I need to find something to disable the motion blur. Like maybe there's some kind of INI file or something, but motion blur, that fucking bitch needs to go away. that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, outro. Let's see who I can raid right now. Like, the motion blur was actually the major reason behind why I could not find my path forward in this game. That is the major reason, and that was probably the only reason. Besides that, that's a 10. That's a 10. Okay, let's see who is online right now. I see some bald guy. Just fooling around. I'm gonna raid. I see nobody from my friends. That's sad. I'm gonna raid Zach Hazard, because he's currently online and he's gonna start streaming any moment now, so might as well. But this game is great. I love this game. Yeah, I want to turn off the motion blur. I'm gonna try to find the ways of doing that. Jack. He's gonna play Death Stranding. But yeah, he basically is a content creator that I really enjoy watching. I really respect this guy. Okay. Thank you guys very much for watching me today. It's all truly appreciated. Links to my YouTube, Discord, wherever you guys need is down below on the panels. If some of you are new to the show and you enjoy it, consider following. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, consider subscribing, slapping a like, leaving a comment, ringing the bell, all that good time. And for the form of support, you guys can subscribe to me via Prime Gaming or regular Twitch subs. There's also option of bits on Twitch, and for even more direct support, there's option of donations. All the links down below the panels. Once again, guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow where we're gonna continue the playthrough of Legacy of Kain Defiance. Have a good rest of the Saturday. Bye.